There's a unique magic in traveling, a way it stirs dormant feelings and rekindles passions we didn't realize we'd lost. Leaving behind the relentless buzz of modern life and stepping into Lexington, Kentucky, felt like unlocking a forgotten chapter of my own story, one filled with images I'd never truly seen, but somehow always knew. The fields back in Wisconsin with electric fences surrounding untrimmed pastures grazed down by livestock, the grass uneven with patches worn down to the earth where animals frequently tread, and taller clumps where they hadn't yet ventured, are scenes that are the most Midwest thing ever. Practical and functional. Miles of corn, soy, and other crops, dotted with round bales of hay, stretched with irrigation systems or bunker silos. In stark contrast, the endless expanse of vibrant green pastures gently undulating under a vast sky was framed by the timeless elegance of Kentucky board fences. These wooden boundaries whispered of a dedication to tradition and artistry and craftsmanship that seemed almost otherworldly. The sheer devotion to preserving this way of life, the painstaking maintenance of an expansive verdant pastures, and the classic wooden fences is both humbling and inspiring. Gone were the weathered and run-down red barns and utilitarian steel structures I'd grown accustomed to, their iconic profile the hallmark of Wisconsin's dairy legacy. Instead, miles upon miles of open land stretched before me, dotted with stables that stood as proud guardians of a way of life preserved through generations. It was an overwhelmingly beautiful, not just in sight, but in spirit. The meticulous care and profound pride invested in every acre were palpable, weaving a tapestry of heritage that modern technology could never replicate. It's a powerful reminder that progress doesn't always mean moving away from the old. Sometimes it's about cherishing and upholding the values and practices that root us in our history. The experience left me pondering the true meaning of advancement and how preserving simplicity can be a profound act of defiance in a world constantly racing toward the next big thing. And that the most impactful discoveries are not entirely new, but pieces of ourselves that we reconnect with along the way. Nestled in the heart of Lexington, Kentucky, the horse capital of the world, Thoroughbred Park stands as a vibrant homage to the region's horse racing tradition. The park celebrates the legacy of legendary figures like Lexington, a famed 19th century racehorse renowned for his exceptional speed and profound impact on the thoroughbred breeding. His spirit embodies the excellence and passion that has defined Kentucky's equestrian culture for generations. As you enter the park, you're greeted by the meadow, a tranquil oasis where deciduous and evergreen trees create a lush canopy. Bronze sculptures of mares and foals artfully placed throughout, capturing moments of playful grace. Visitors can wander along the winding pathways or relax in inviting seating areas, all while immersed in the beauty of the landscape. A meticulously crafted stone wall, reminiscent of those found in traditional bluegrass horse farms, elegantly divide the upper and lower section, enhancing the feel of this peaceful retreat. deeper into the park, the excitement of horse racing comes to life. The winner's circle features 2 life-size bronze thoroughbreds locked in a dramatic neck-and-neck photo finish, embodying the pinnacle of competition and the thrill of victory. This powerful scene sets the stage for the track. Or 5 additional bronze thoroughbreds ridden by legendary jockeys Willie Shoemaker, Pat Day, Chris McCarron, Randy Romero, and Don Bloomfield charge toward the finish line. The jockeys are depicted in vivid detail, wearing racing silks cast from actual garments donated by prominent stables, adding authenticity and vibrant color to the spectacle. This dynamic display captures the raw power and grace of horse and rider in motion, making you feel as though you're part of the race. While Thoroughbred Park offers stunning artistic tributes to Lexington's equine legacy, our journey to Kentucky's horse culture doesn't end here. Just a short drive away lies the expansive Kentucky Horse Park, where the celebration of all things equine continues on an even grander scale. Welcome to Kentucky Horse Park, a place where history, art, and the spirit of the horse come together to create an unforgettable experience. If you are a lover of horses or horse racing, the Kentucky Horse Park is a must-stop for your next trip. Established in 1978, the Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, Kentucky is dedicated to celebrating the relationship between humans and horses. This park is a testament to our shared history and the enduring bond we have with these magnificent animals. The park is home to some of the most beautifully detailed sculptures, like that of Monument to Sergeant Reckless and the Grave of Man o' War. These works of art not only capture the grace and power of these horses, but also pays tribute to their remarkable stories. If you're an animal artist, you will find this place a wealth of inspiration. Visiting Kentucky Horse Park took me back to my childhood, eagerly watching the Kentucky Derby with crayons in hand, inspired to draw horses. From Secretariat charging through his Triple Crown win to Seabiscuit, the underdog, who beat the favorite war animal in the match race. Fictional favorites like the Black Stallion had whole sections of museum dedicated to them, reminding me of the Crooked Colt, a book that fueled my passion for both art and horses that I owned when I was very young. The Crooked Colt tells the story of a colt born with a crooked leg, who overcomes his challenges to become a strong and spirited horse. This tale of resilience and determination inspired me to draw horses and dream of their beauty and strength. Its simple charcoal drawings by C.W. Anderson seemed very achievable as a child, and its story helped me to endure things that happened that I did not understand and overcome challenges and struggles that helped me to drive to become a better and more successful artist. In the big barn, you can find several different breeds of draft horse for live demonstrations and meet and greet sessions. This demonstration will cover a variety of information about draft horses, including show preparation, harnessing, and breed history. In the breed barn, you can browse the many different breeds you might not normally be able to see. In addition, the park offers breed demonstrations daily that showcase the diversity and beauty of the horse breeds from all around the world. From the elegant thoroughbred to the powerful draft horse, each breed has a unique story to tell. While not demonstrating on the day that I went, I was excited to see the Lipizans and the Alcateki. Sadly, neither was on a breed demo, and I had to take my shots through the gate in the stall, which was very hard and were not very flattering. Unlike your standard stall door, venting and grates in the barns have thick steel mesh to protect the public from potentially being bit. The breed demo horses are on loan from their owners to the Kentucky Horse Park, so if you don't see a horse that you want to see there now, it may change next year. The Kentucky Horse Park is home to a stunning collection of sculptures that celebrate the beauty and the history of horses. The memorials to great horses like Secretariat and the courageous Sergeant Reckless evoke deep emotions from my childhood. Whether reading stories about fictional horses like the Black Stallion, or watching actual footage of these famous animals, seeing these tributes to my childhood icons reminded me how much they impacted my life with their courage and determination. Staff Sergeant Reckless. This bronze sculpture by Jocelyn Russell honors the heroic warhorse of the U.S. Marines during the Korean War. Sergeant Reckless made 51 trips in a single day to carry ammunition and wounded soldiers, earning her 2 Purple Hearts and other military decorations. Ali Sheba, sculpted by Shelley Hunter. This bronze statue commemorates Ali Sheba, the 1987 Kentucky Derby and Preakness Stakes winner. Basque, created by Edwin Boguski. This bronze sculpture pays tribute to the Arabian stallion Basque, who was one of the most influential and significant impacts on Arabian horse breed in the United States. Man o' War. This iconic statue honors one of the greatest racehorses of all time. Man o' War's legacy is immortalized in this beautiful memorial sculpture, which stands as a testament to his incredible achievements on the racetrack. Kentucky Horse Park is home to the graves of Man o' War, as well as his famous offspring, War Admiral. There are several very famous horses that call Kentucky Horse Park their final home and can be found throughout the Hall of Champions. Secretariat. Another legendary racehorse, Secretariat's memorial captures the spirit and power of this Triple Crown winner. Known as Big Red, this machine of a horse is often considered to be the greatest racehorse of all time. Secretariat still holds the record for the fastest Belmont Stakes run ever, 2 minutes, 24 seconds, and the largest margin of victory, 31 lengths, at 1.5 miles at the Belmont Stakes, is the longest of the big 3 races.
Back to Private Smile, who is trailing the field. They continue down the backstretch, and that's Secretariat now taking the lead. He's got it by about a length and a half. Still Shannon, 10 lengths back. My Gallant fights the print. They're moving on the turn now. For the turn at Secretariat, it looks like he's opening. The lead is increasing. Make it 3 and a half. He's moving into the turn. Secretariat holding on to a large lead. Shannon is second, and then it's a long way back to My Gallant and twice the print. They're on the turn. Secretariat is blazing along. The first 3/4 of a mile at 109 and 4
that any sport hold a record for 20 years, let alone over 50. While Secretariat is actually buried in nearby Paris, Kentucky at Claiborne Farms, the sculpture is a favorite among visitors and horse racing enthusiasts. These sculptures are not only works of art, but powerful tributes to horses that have left an indelible mark in history. Each piece tells a story of courage, strength, and the deep bond between humans and horses. In the Hall of Champions, you can also find many original paintings of famous racehorses, as well as other items to memorialize their contributions to racing. Secretariat's silk halter and Triple Crown Award can be found along with this picture, a very impressive life-size sculpture, which is made up of thousands of smaller running horses. I couldn't help but to be really moved by this thought. One horse may be great, but he runs on the shoulders of all who've come before him. Just as no artist stands alone, you are made greater by the artists that you've met and who you've learned from. You take a little bit of them with you where you go. As you walk the Hall of Champions, it's hard not to get emotional when you hear names that you grew up with but had long since forgotten. Citation, Affirmed, Ruffian, Funny Son, John Henry, Seabiscuit, War Admiral, Man of War. To some, those are just horses. To me, they were the stories of dreams, hard work, defeat, and triumphant returns, of rooting for the underdog or crushing injuries that just could not be overcome. But walking through and seeing the well-worn halter from Secretariat, the muzzle from Man of War, these larger-than-life stories and the people who they've inspired helped me to believe in myself more. These weren't fictional animals. They were real-life chances. They had to get up and fight every day for what they wanted. They had to believe in themselves when no one else did. They ran the track when no one was watching, and they kept going when no one cared. While today's horse racing scene is marred by controversies and growing concerns about animal welfare, its storied legacy as a powerful economic engine and cultural touchstone remains undeniable. Horse racing has been more than a sport. It has served as both an economic catalyst and a vibrant thread in our nation's historical tapestry. During the depths of the Great Depression, one legendary showdown captured the public's imagination. Seabiscuit, the ultimate underdog, took on War Admiral, a formidable contender sired by the famed Man of War, who had long since retired from the track. This historic race not only thrilled audiences, but also boosted the morale and provided vital revenue to struggling communities through betting, tourism, and job creation. In the decades that followed, the sport's potential was redefined by successive champions. Citation's consistency and Secretariat's record-shattering Triple Crown victories spurred major investments in breeding, training facilities, and racetracks. Later legends such as Seattle Slew and Affirmed further solidified the sport's legacy, while more recent stars like American Pharoah embodied its enduring evolution, each contributing uniquely to America's journey from adversity to prosperity. Today, modern equestrian events continue to energize local communities. Prestigious competitions such as the annual Kentucky Derby at Churchill's Down draws visitors from around the globe, filling hotels, restaurants, and shops, injecting millions into the regional economies. Yet equine excellence is not confined to the racetrack alone. World-class dressage shows, exhilarating show jumping tournaments, demanding cross-country courses, and precision-driven reining competitions further enrich the sporting landscape. Year-round gatherings at venues like Kentucky Horse Park celebrate this diverse landscape of equine culture, fostering community development, boosting tourism, and sustaining the profound bond between people and horses. My visit to Kentucky Horse Park was a deeply emotional experience. Listening to Run for the Roses and seeing the memorials brought tears to my eyes, reminding me of the profound impact the horses have had on my life and my art. Knowing how much of an underdog Seabiscuit was next to the famous War Admiral, yet despite sleeping too long and eating too much, and having a jockey that was with an unremarkable record, riding one of the worst horses on the track, Seabiscuit beat out War Admiral in that match race, against all odds, with no support, and just the belief that you could. The canvas awaits, your Run for the Roses. In the thunder of Seabiscuit's charge against War Admiral, and the majestic stride of Secretariat at the Belmont, we see more than a race. We see a legacy of passion, perseverance, and triumph. As artists, we understand this divine struggle. Every brushstroke, every note, every word formed is our own gallop toward greatness. The blank canvas are Churchill Downs, the empty stage are Belmont Stakes. The roses that await aren't merely crimson blooms, but vibrant blossoms of your own creative spirit made manifest. Each petal represents a moment where you chose to continue, despite doubt, despite rejection, despite the voice that whispered that you weren't enough. And just as every artist carries their inspiration, every one of us holds the fire of our foremothers and the strength of our forefathers. Their dreams run through our veins like thoroughbreds yearning for open ground. Now it's time to channel that inner champion. Let the echoes of these legends propel you forward. Run for the roses. Run for the dreams. Run for your visions. Run for your destiny. Feel the earth beneath you tremble with possibility. Hear the crowds roar in the beating of your own determined heart. See the finish line, not as an ending, but as a threshold to something greater. Embrace the race. Honor the legacy. Make your mark. The track is wide open, and the time is now. Create what you love, inspire those around you, and prevail against all odds.